Hello, we have a question on our series of worked examples. Worked examples on the higher paper. These are questions that the students found particularly difficult. And the one we've got coming up today is from Pearson Edexcel. It's from the May 2019 exam series. And we'll have a look at the question. It's question number 22 on paper 1. Let's have a read of the question then. There are only R red counters and G green counters in a bag. Counter is taken at random from the bag, and the probability that the counter is green is 3/7. Counter is then put back in the bag. 2 more red counters and 3 more green counters are put in the bag. Counter is taken at random from the bag. Probability that the counter is green is 6/13. And what it asks us to do is find the number of red counters and the number of green counters that were in the bag originally. Excuse me. Right, so what do we have at the beginning? Well, the probability that the counter is green is 3/7. Now, there are only green and only red counters in the bag, so we could have 3 green and we could have 4 red. But similarly, we could have 6 green and 8 red. We could have 9 green and 12 red, and so on and so forth. So really what we need to say is we've got 3x green and 4x red counters at the beginning. But we then know that 2 more red counters and 3 more green counters are put in the bag. And then when we do that, the probability that pulling out a counter that's green is 6/13. So we've got 3x plus an extra 3 green counters and 4x and 2 red counters. So in total, we've got 7x plus 5 counters in the bag. And the probability that we pull out a green counter is 3x plus 3 over 7x plus 5. But we're also told that that probability is 6/13. So what we need to do is to rearrange this equation here. And I'll do that now. So we get x is equal to 3. So at the beginning, that were in the counters that were in the bag originally, they were 3x. So for green, we've got 3x, which is equal to 9. And for red, we've got 4x, which is equal to 12. Now, the trick with this particular question is if you look at the very beginning, it says there are only R red counters and G green counters in a bag. So the temptation is to create an equation with R and G in it. Now that gives us two unknowns, and that's going to be difficult to work out. If we can have it with just one variable, and in this case we've chosen the variable x, then it's easier to calculate the probability. So if you can solve a question using just one variable, you're going to find it easier than if you have two, three, so on and so forth. Now that question's worth 5 marks. Any questions, post them in the comments, and thanks for watching.